Hi, welcome to next session in SAP ABAP learning series. And in this session, we are going to learn a very important topic, that is function model and the RFC. That is nothing but a remote enabled function model. So let's understand what is the function model and RFC. Function models are part of the modularization technique. So what is the modularization technique? We have already learned. A modularization means dividing the whole program into a small blocks, and some blocks we can reuse and we can divide into different model. So FMs are called subprograms which contain a set of reusable program. FM can be created and tested independently using the function model, function builder, transaction code, that is SE37, with the help of importing, exporting, changing, and table parameters. In SAP, there are several predefined function models which are already developed by SAP. We can directly use the function model in our ABAP programs. Apart from that, based on our own requirement, we can create the custom function models. So for creating a function model, first we require a function group. Okay, what is a function group? A function group is a container of function models. Means inside one function group, we can create multiple function model or RFCs. Okay, and we can also declare the subroutines or the data declaration in the top include of this function group. What is meaning of this? Take example, we have one function group and inside that we have three function models or RFC 1, 2 and 3. But there are some internal tables or global variables which commonly required on the function groups or all the function models. So what we can do, instead of declaring the declaration in each FM, in function group there is one top include. So we can do all our data declaration at the top include level. And then that global data declaration in the top include we can use in all the FM. So let's see, understanding more detail how exactly function model is used. Consider a scenario, we have different reports like some MM report, SD report and FI report. And in all the reports, we have a common requirement to convert amount into word. Or let's say rounding of the final amount. So this is a common requirement in multiple reports. Okay, let's say the amount is 10,000 and we want in word rupees 10,000. So what is option 1 to meet this scenario? We have to write our logic to convert the amount into word in each report, MM report, SD report and FI report. Okay, and this is the option 1. We can write our logic in each report. So what is disadvantage of this concept? See, every time we have to write the whole piece of code in this report, SD and FI. And in case if any modification required in that code modification, then we have to go in each report and do the modification. So what is the alternate solution for this? As the requirement is common, okay, in all the report, the requirement is common that convert amount into word. So what we can do, we can create a function model, okay, and in the function model, the importing parameter will be amount and the exporting parameter will be amount in word. Once we create that function model, the same function model we just need to call in each program, SD, MM and FI report. And in case if we require any modification in future, we have to do that modification at the function model level only. Okay, so this is the advantage. Create one function model and use in n number of programs or any other object. So let's have a look at the structure of a function model. In every function model or RFC, there are importing parameters. Importing means which is the input for that function. By taking that input in source code level, we have to perform our business logic, and based on that we can produce an exporting parameter. Okay, take the input, perform your logical operation, and produce the output. Importing parameter we cannot change. This means that, take example, we have importing parameter A with value 10. So based on the value of A, we can set the value of exporting parameter B, but we cannot change the value of A itself because it is an importing parameter. In such requirement, where our requirement is we want to change the value of importing parameter itself, in that case we have to use changing. Suppose here we have one variable as A with 10. After performing some business logic, you can change the value of same variable A to, let's say, some other value 5, and that will get the output. Okay, so this is different between importing and changing parameters. We cannot change the value of importing parameter. In such requirement, go for a changing parameter. Next is the tables. Tables we can use both as the importing and as the exporting to the function models. For example, your importing parameter is vendor ID, and you want all the purchase order details of the vendor. So importing will be single variable vendor ID, and based on that, in the table output, we can get the purchase order header and line item details. And the reverse scenario, for example, you're getting input in the form of table. Let's say to create a GR. And in GR there are multiple line items. So here the table acts as an importing parameter, as an importing table. We'll get the input in the form of table, perform the logic, create the GR, and pass the GR number in the exporting parameter. Okay, so for every function model the structure is same. The logic will change, the importing exporting parameter will get changed. This is one of the function model, that is HR in change in words, that is amount to word. This is a standard function model created by SAP. So here we can see the structure. This is the SE37 screen. Here we have import, export, changing, table, exceptions, and the source code tab. And here is the function group, HR, pay, INX. And here you can see the by default, it is a normal function model. And in case you want to make this as a RFC, then we have to select this radio button, remote email function model. What is update model? We'll learn in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so now, next is what is RFC. See, RFC, like when we create a function model, the function model we can call in the same SAP system only. For example, we have two SAP systems, system 1 and SAP system 2. So when we create a function model with the first option here, that is normal function model, in that case, we can use that function model in this one system only. But in case where you are working with the multiple SAP systems or non-SAP systems, and you want to call the function model which is created in system A in some other SAP system, in that case we have to use the RFC. Because the RFC is a mechanism to communicate with the other SAP system. So instead of using IDOC and all, the RFC is easy to use in different SAP systems. Have a look here. For example, we are working in an environment where we have multiple systems, SAP system like Y, Z, and also some external system. Like, for example, like Cordis software, or let's say IBM WebSphere, etc. So in that case, what we can do, we can create a RFC in the centralized system, and the same RFC we can call in n number of systems. SAP to SAP, it is direct call through call function, and in non-SAP system, they use some connectors like Java connector, PHP connector. So using that connector, it is very easy to call the SAP RFC directly. Okay, so before like creating our own custom function model, first we'll see one SAP standard function model, we'll see the structure, and we'll try to use in our ABAP program. So let's log into SAP system and first have a look at the standard function model provided by SAP, that is spell_amount. Now, from the SAP Easy Access screen to access function module, we have to go to transaction code SE37. Function module. If you don't know function module name, we can search from here by entering some short description or the function module name. Take example, like I know the function module with some description like spell amount. Okay, so I will just enter. Okay, this is giving some different function module name. So what I will do, let's take example. I'm giving some function module name as spell star. So here we can see all the matching function module available in SAP with that number, with that name. So I'm going to use this spell underscore amount. Click on display. So here we can see the structure. First is the attribute, like this is the function group, which is container. And here you can see all the details who has created this function module, the include program and all. The importing parameter is function module. So here importing parameter is amount, currency, pillar and language. So importing parameter is input to this FM. And here is the source code. By taking all this importing parameter, system is performing the different operation, different logic. Okay, and based on that, finally we'll get the output in this IN underscore word. This can be a single variable or a structure. Here it is a structure, but we can also get value in our parameters. So there is no changing parameter here, no table. Okay, how to use this? Execute. If I enter any amount here, let's say 10. Okay, so click here. So here you can see in the word we are getting 10. Okay, if I enter some other value, so same based on that we can get some different values. So this is how, like, by passing the importing details we can get the data in the exporting parameter. And now, as I explained, function group is a container. So if you go to this function group, here you can see every function group by default contain two include program. The first is top and second is this UXS. In the second one, we can see the list of all the function module which are there in this function group. So here we can see in this function group F017, SAP has created two function modules, spell amount and spell amount underscore CN. Okay, and any like global data declaration we can do in this top include. So once we do the data declaration in this top include, we can use this data in all the function module. Okay, so whenever we create a function group, by default first two include will get created. Remaining based on our requirement we can create. Now let's see how to use this function module in the ABAP program. So I will copy this and I will create a new ABAP program, SE38. Let's say ZK underscore spell underscore amount. I will create a program, create. Let's say amount to word. Executable program. Save. I am saving as a local object. And here, like first I will add some parameter on the screen, because as per the input screen we can pass here the currency amount, and here you can see, okay, first is amount, currency, etc. So my requirement is I want only amount. I am not passing any currency. If you require, you can pass currency as well. Okay, so here I will add like P underscore AMT. Let's say type DMBTR and start of selection, end of selection. And now in the exporting parameter, here we have IN underscore word of type spell. Okay, so first what we'll do, we'll do data declaration, that is GS underscore, let's say word of type, same type we have to use spell. Okay, now to call the function module here, click on pattern. In the first option, enter the function module. So based on the detail of importing exporting parameter, we can see all the details here. Now my requirement is here, I want to pass amount from the screen. So I will pass as P underscore amount. And I just pass here escape and language, side language. And I want to get my output in this GS underscore word. Okay. Now one point if you observe here, see when you call the function model in the ABAP program, the importing parameter here, the importing parameter becomes the exporting parameter. Okay. And the exporting becomes the importing parameter. Always open all the exceptions. So what I'm doing, to this function model, I am passing the P amount. Okay. And I will get the output in GS underscore word. And let's say I just want to print the output GS underscore word. Save, check, and activate. Okay. Now just execute, enter some amount. Now if I execute this, see the output here, 1 million. Okay, I will enter 10, see the output as, okay, some setting issue here. Okay, because of that I am facing this 1100. Okay, so like this, based on the input, the function model will get executed and we can print the output. If you want to debug this, we can set a breakpoint here. Execute. Again, I will enter 100. Now if I execute, now take example, if you want to debug this function model, then click on F5. If you click F5, this will go inside the function model. We can analyze all the details how it is working. If you want to come out from the debugging mode, just click here F7. Okay, we can see the output here, size of RFC equal to 0. And to check the output of this complete structure, double click GS underscore word, and here you can see the output. Execute 100. Fine. So in this way we will learn like what is the function model, okay, and what is the RFC, theoretical part only. And we will learn how to use a standard SAP function model is fill underscore amount in a ABAP program. So in the next session, we will create our custom function model and we will consume that to the ABAP program. That we will learn in the next session.